In a previous video, we spoke about the unfortunate case of FOMO that is taking control of the modern youth these days. We fear missing out, so we make decisions that aren't well thought out. But a powerful antidote to FOMO is JOMO, a new wave of self-care. But before we explore more about why you should replace FOMO with JOMO, better your brain by hitting the subscribe button so we can continue feeding you nuggets of information on brain and behavior. Also, make sure to watch till the end of the video so we can give you some useful tips on how to start practicing JOMO. So while FOMO stands for fear of missing out, the very opposite to that is JOMO, or the joy of missing out. In other words, it's about choosing not to engage in social activities or digital distractions, but instead focusing on one's well-being, solitude, and real-life experiences. JOMO refers to a deliberate decision to disconnect from social or online activities and events, so you can focus on being present. You embrace solitude, quiet moments, and focus on activities that bring personal fulfillment and happiness. This is the key to JOMO. It is learning to understand how to calm the mind without feeling the need to constantly be involved in what others are doing. The greatest power in JOMO, beyond learning to spend time with yourself, is adopting the mindset that values self-care and the freedom to prioritize one's own well-being over social pressures. JOMO is gaining popularity as a response to the overwhelming presence of social media and rising depression, anxiety, and pressure to stay constantly connected. There's a growing realization that constant access to social media and a pressure to attend every social event can have negative effects. Also, some of the contributing factors why JOMO is on the rise may be things like the hyper-connected world we live in is bombarding us with notifications, messages, and updates from everywhere. Not only are we receiving constant notifications from our personal contacts, but ever since the advent of remote work is also pinging us at it all the time. Feelings of overwhelm and exhaustion can result from this constant flow of information, which leads me to my second point, which is burnout and stress. As the demands of work and personal life and social obligations increase, it is no wonder that burnout and stress are on the rise, especially amongst Gen Z and millennials. Then there's also the mindfulness movement. Over the last decade, the mindfulness movement has become a billion-dollar industry. From apps to endless services, mindfulness is all about encouraging individuals to be present in the moment, appreciate the simple joys of life, and cultivate a deeper connection with self. As such, JOMO aligns with these principles by promoting intentional disconnection and enjoyment of offline experiences. And then there's also the mental health awareness move that has been happening. In the US, 1 in 5 adults are reported to have experienced mental illness. Therefore, a lot of the stigma of therapy and mental health has vanished, as there has been an increased rise of awareness in conversations surrounding mental health. All of this has helped to prioritize self-care and set boundaries. And then finally, there's also the shift in cultural behavior. Ever since the pandemic, people have become more accustomed to staying indoors. As a whole, the pandemic has transformed the idea of what a home is, and so people are now more willing to stay home. This has caused a shift in societal values, with more emphasis being placed on personal fulfillment. The rise of remote work has also further pushed this point. As mentioned earlier, the constant need to strive to be a part of a social event or activity can get exhausting. Looking online to what others are doing will never end because, frankly put, there will never be an end. Something is always happening. The fear of missing out is nothing more than a fear. What this means is that it's something we can overcome. Having a greater work-life balance, a need for self-discovery and understanding, and an improved state of wellness in the mind is ultimately what the joy of missing out offers. It is an alternative perspective that emphasizes the value of downtime, self-reflection, and comfort in solitude. So how can we go about embracing the joy of missing out exactly? Well, for one, you can set clear boundaries. What this means is to establish healthy distance with technology and social media. Designate specific times for digital detoxes, or limit the amount of time spent on social platforms to create a space of well-being. Also, learn to practice saying no. Learn to say no to activities or commitments that don't align with your priorities or bring you genuine joy. For those who are people pleasers, this can be a difficult thing in the beginning, especially if you feel like you are growing more distant with certain friends or missing opportunities. But upon practice, you'll realize that saying no isn't really that difficult. And by using your time right, you can create more opportunities with that no than always just saying yes. Also have a gratitude attitude. Shift your perspective to appreciate the present moment and the experiences you choose to engage in. Be grateful for the opportunities you have rather than dwelling on what you may not have or what you may be missing out. Finally, engage in meaningful experiences. Invest your time and energy in activities that align with your values and bring you genuine fulfillment. Whether that is learning a new skill, reading more books, or just meditating, JOMO isn't about advocating being alone all the time. Instead, it is about learning how not to spend your time recklessly. Spend quality time with loved ones, engage in hobbies, or explore new interests that genuinely resonate with you. If you like this video, make sure to click the video on the left to learn more about FOMO, and also subscribe to this channel so we can continue to help you mine the golden mind.